Hey yo! Let's talk about motivation for a bit because this is really important topic, I think. And a lot of people actually lack motivation and they're like, how do I want to get motivation? I'm not the best source of information for this, by the way. But I kind of want to talk about it a little bit because it's something I really struggle with as well. And basically, there's two types of motivation. There's like external one, there is internal one, and which one is more important? That's a really good question, gonna be, right? And of course, if you listen for all of the psychologists, psychiatrists, doctor case and stuff, they're gonna tell you that you gotta have internal motivation that comes from your heart, that comes from within. It's something that you really want to do. It's something like art, it's something like programming. It's just like really important that you gotta do this and you gotta have it from within. And in general, I agree. But what do you do if you are, like, for example, like a person like me? I don't really have a lot of internal, I don't really have a lot of motivation like internally from within. And what do? It's like sometimes for example, I have the ideas for a video that I want to make, and I'm like, damn, I want to make this video. Or there's a game that I want to make, there's a really good idea, I'm like, for a few days I'm like, damn, I gotta make this, but then it kind of disappears. So most of the time I don't really have motivation, right? And what people like I do, and sometimes I do that as well, but I've gotta stop doing it for last time, is they go to the external motivation. They go watch motivational video to get up and do something actually, right? They go and like, oh well, I'm gonna listen for Jordan Peterson, who's gonna say to me, clear the room, and I'm gonna go clear my room, and he's gonna be like my I don't know, internet daddy or some shit. Some people actually like that, but I don't really consider myself to be that way. But there are some people who get external motivation a lot, and why it's not exactly bad, but it's kind of, if you think about it, you gotta get. It's like a light-hearted drug, right? A light-headed drug because you get attached to some kind of guy who gives you motivation, and then this guy, like, you create a link with this guy, for example, Jordan Peterson, right? And then he can actually turn you into some more extreme things. For example, like Jordan Peterson had this arc with he was having a lot of conspiracy theories, or there's gonna be some kind of shady guy who's gonna tell you like, hey, get my course on how to become more motivated and do all the stuff you want to do. And then he's like basically gonna scam you or gonna sell you a course. So it's like one of those things that it's sort of a weakness of yours that could be exploited by some other people, and you actually need to know that. And it's one thing. And the second thing is, you could get used, or if even worse, it could actually not work the way you want. For example, like if you actually did something on YouTube, on Twitch, let's say, and although I like have no audience at all, basically, right? But maybe it's my stupid nature of mine. It's like double check everything, triple check everything. Although I'm not really doing that much of content now, but still, it's like if you get attached to external motivation, for example, if it's the YouTube, you're gonna get attached, for example, to amount of views or amount of subscribers, whatever the fuck you want, or this Twitch amount of like average viewers, let's say. And if you're gonna build all of your motivation from that, you're not gonna get anywhere, because for example, right now, I like from the previous video I had like 0 views, and the video before that I had like 1 view, 0 views, so basically there's nothing at all. And it's actually fine, because it's not the main point here. It would be better if there would be a little bit more, but I'm basically shitposting, so it's not that important. And yeah, if my motivation was primarily run on numbers, I would have quit already. If like after a few videos, because it's not working, I'm gonna quit. And I kind of, because I know myself, I did that a few times before that. For example, there was a was it September? It was like a few months ago. I started to do a similar channel to what I'm doing right now, and what I basically did is I made a few videos. I think I made like 15 videos there, 12, I don't know, around that. And I was like, oh, it's not going well at all. I gotta just delete the entire channel, and I kind of did it, and that was it. Because I was looking at the numbers, because I started to I get into my own head, which sometimes happens, right? And it did me dirty. Because I had external motivation primarily. I was like, damn, I want to have some video that's gonna get some views, but then I wasn't doing anything to get this. It's another point, all right? It's another point. But the idea is that if you get attached to it, if you use it like a primary force to motivating yourself, to pushing yourself forward to do whatever you want to do, your goal, your dream, whatever it could be, it's not gonna be any good. It's not going to be. Just keep it up. As first thing I want to talk about, there was a few things in my notes as well. All right. So yeah, external metrics could be bad, and of course you need to have an internal motivation, but here's the problem. How do you actually get this internal motivation? Because I don't really know how to do it, to be honest. There is a few, primarily one way you can do this, and it kind of works, but I'm just not really good at it, is that the way motivation works, some people say, I'm not really sure, but some people say that the way motivation works is that the more you think about something, the more you want to do it. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because you primarily run by what is in your head. And if you had like one thing, you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this, you're probably going to do this because it's all you think about. Kind of makes sense, right? Theoretically, at least. And you know, sometimes when I try myself to divert my attention to like more of doing like some game or whatever shit, I'm trying to do that more a little bit. So it kind of works, but I'm just not really good at controlling my thought process that much. It's like it needs like advanced level of control, and I have like a beginner basically. But you know, that's fine. So we can learn it, right? We can learn it. There's like there's struts to do it, you know, all those meditations and shit, they were primarily for you being able to control the attention of whatever you want, and you know, mindfulnesses and bullshit. I kind of want to talk about that as well, but you know, it's gonna be a topic for that another time, I think. And so yeah, what was I talking about? So yeah, they probably can build internal motivation like that, or just maybe, you know, maybe it's suppressed by something deep into your brain. Maybe it's some, I don't know, some stupid shit, some trauma you have, some fears you have. It's also could just, you know, suppressing your desires a little bit, because it's like, oh, I want to do this, but it's scary, so I'm probably not gonna do it. Probably it's like a bad idea. Why would I do? Why would I do that at all? And like, so kind of like that. And there's another really interesting part actually about motivation, if you think about it, is that there is like this conversation is like forever old, probably. It's probably like from the ancient times about motivation and willpower, which is the best. Obvious question, as usual in life, something in between, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, because motivation is extremely important, especially when you start stuff, because it's like on the highest when you start. Like if you think about the graph, right? Okay, so motivation basically like this. It's like high, then it kind of deeps, then it kind of gets a little bit back up, then it deeps, it back up. It's like a sinus wave, I think. It can go lower, it can go higher, right? It's not like the perfect wave, but it can vary. It can vary a lot, especially if you get in like the late stage of, for example, if you're making some kind of product. In the late stages, it could be actually dipping because you need to do a lot of manual stupid shit. For example, like for the programs or games, it's fixing bugs. It's like it's not really pleasant. It's not really interesting. You don't really want to do that, and you're kind of like, oh man, I'm so fuck that, bro. And you can just quit. If you are a bitch, if you're a baby loser, then you would quit, but hopefully you wouldn't. And yeah, and of course you need motivation to keep you through, and of course you need the willpower to actually follow through with what you really want, what you really want ahead. And this was something I really try to build a little bit here. For example, it's not really about the content. It's like I just want to do daily or around daily shit, especially like talking to a camera, because you know I want to do some more cool content back later on, and I kind of want to build up that, you know, that level of comfort that I have right now. I don't really have it right now, but I want to build that level of comfort. I want to build those skills I need, and those skills I need by yapping, just you know, and be more comfortable and more confident just talking. it's all really useful. It's all really neat, and it's something I want to learn a lot. And this way I'm doing it. Oh, it's already 10 minutes. I thought it's gonna be like 5, but sure. And yeah, and you know, the willpower is really it's like the basics. It's really important. I don't really have it, so I want to have it. And if you have only motivation, you're gonna be like basically all of those people who start but never follow through. I know one guy. I know one guy like that. You can imagine it, right? You can imagine it. And you know, if you have only willpower, you're just gonna push through all your life. You're probably not gonna have a lot of enjoyment. You're probably gonna have a lot of happiness. And yes, it's really important to do stuff you need to do, but it's also really important to do stuff you want to do. And basically, being an adult is like 2 of those things. In one case, you're just a kid, basically, right? In the kiddish state of development, and one you just depressed man, kinda. You don't really want anything. You just push through with everything. It's scary. It's scary to be like that. I don't really want to be like that. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be washed up. Although I think that I'm not the way I used to be, at least in terms of emotions. I had more of them when I was younger, but it's okay. It's fine. It's just part of growing up, I guess. But getting back to the topic about motivation, right? So I don't know anything about it, actually. I don't know why you listen to me about motivation. What a fucking idiot. Do you think we're talking about? Some random ass fucking nobody in the internet and just listening to him for it? And it's like 12 minutes you listen for that shit? What are you doing here, bro? Go do your shit, whatever you want. Or like watch a video, motivational video if you want to. Just don't get too high on that, right? Everything needs balance in the world. Everything needs balance in our life, and that's what you need to do. Alright. You're gonna succeed in whatever you want to do if that's what you want. If you don't want to watch like the separate video for motivating yourself, it's gonna be good. You're gonna do everything. You can do this, bro. You can do this. Good. Go on, shake it. So yeah, it's gonna be all for me. I hope you're gonna have a great day, night. It's gonna be night for me right now, but you know, have a great whatever. I hope you can find your peace. I hope you can find your happiness, and I hope you will have a lot of motivation and willpower and a lot of internal motivation and maybe a little bit of external. You know, a few videos of Jordan Peterson or someone cannot really help or cannot really harm. I hope you get the point. So anyway, that's gonna be all for me this time around. Right? Bye.